Okay, we weren't able to finish number 7, so we're going to finish it here. We had y equals negative 3/2 x. When we make our xy table, we're going to definitely put the 0, and we replaced it with a 2. So we have 0 times 3/2 was 0. When we replace it with 2, we have negative 3/2 times 2. Negative 6 over 2 is negative 3. And that's going to be a positive 2 and a negative 3. We want to come over farther, so we're going to still have a multiple of 2, but we'll make it a bigger one. So we're going to use a 6, negative 3/2 times 6 gives us negative 18 over 2, which is 9. That was when we replaced it with 6, and we'll also do a negative 6, sorry. So if this was negative 18, negative times negative is positive, so we have a positive 9. This one, I'm sorry, that one should have been a negative 9. Negative 3 times a positive 6. So now we'll graph these numbers 0, 0. 2, negative 3 we already have here. 6, negative 9. 6, negative 9 is right here. A negative 6, positive 9. Negative 6, positive 9 is right here, and then we'll connect the dots.
Did you turn the timer on?
It's 7:58. Okay, connect the dots and draw the line. And number 8, the next problem. We have 2x plus 8 equals 0. There's no y in there, but there is an x. We want to get it by itself. So first thing we do is the plus or minus. We're going to subtract 8 from both sides. You have 2x equals negative 8. Next thing you do, you need to divide by the 2. X equals negative 4. We don't need the table because it's all going to be negative 4s going down the x. The positive 4 is over here, the negative 4 is over on the left, so we're going to go on where it's negative 4, crossing the x. And this line has a slope that is not defined. Okay, something we forgot to do on the one before it, we were supposed to label the y-intercept. We go back up here, the y-intercept was 0, 0. Forgot to label that. It asked us to label the y-intercept. On this one, there's not anywhere it crosses the y, so we don't need to label a y-intercept. Number 9, they want you to graph y equals 5. The negatives are under the y, the positives are up here. We'll go where it crosses the positive 5. This one has a slope of 0. It does not rise at all, so it has a slope of 0. And it does have a y-intercept, which is 0, 5. Now, a new problem. That was number 9. Next page, number 10. Number 10 has 2x minus 4y equals negative 8. We need to solve for y. What's the first thing we're going to do to solve for y? We're going to leave it there. So we need to subtract 2x to the other side, right? Okay. When we subtract 2x on both sides, we still have negative 4y. We have negative 2x and minus 8. Now what are we going to do next to solve for y? To get the y by itself?
Divide.
By?
4.
Negative 4, right? Divide by the negative 4. You have y equals 2/4, same as 1/2. It'll be positive, correct? 1/2. X, what will this number be? Negative 8 divided by negative 4. A 2, positive or negative? Positive. Okay. We can graph that using the y-intercept and the slope, or what it actually asked on this was to graph it using the intercepts. One of the intercepts is y equals 2. The other intercept, that would be if you put 0 for the x, would make the y2. If you put 0 for y, you're going to have to solve for y to get the other intercept. Subtracting 2, you have 1/2 x equals negative 2. Then you would multiply by the reciprocal if you have a fraction here, or you could just go back to your original equation and solve for y equals 0. Here, if we multiply by the reciprocal, which is 2/1, multiply that by 2/1, your x-intercept is negative 4. That's just using the intercepts. If you use this right here, the slope intercept, you have your 2 as your intercept, 1/2 is your slope. Rise 1, run 2. Rise 1, run 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. You can do it as many times as you like. 1, 2. To go down 1, back 2, down 1, back 2, there's your x-intercept right there. Connect the dots and it is graphed. That one was done both ways. The intercepts and the slope intercept form. On number 11, if we just find the intercepts, this is a way to just do it with, with just the intercept is 2x minus y equals 3. We could just replace the x was 0 and the y was 0 and find out where it intercepts. If we put 0 here, if the x is 0, we will have 0 minus y is 3. You would need to divide by negative 1. Negative y is 3, so that means y is a negative 3. Is that correct? You see that? Y is negative 3. Let's go ahead and write it down. 2 times 0, so if we replaced x with 0, minus y equals 3. This goes away, we have negative y equals 3. Okay, we'll divide by negative 1. See how that gives us a negative 3 there. Okay, if we want to replace the y with 0, we'll have 2x minus y equals 3. So replace the y with 0. You have 2x equals 3. So the x-intercept, after you divide by 2, the x-intercept is 3/2. That's going to be at 1.5 on the x. Okay, 3/2 or 1.5. Okay, to graph this, you have your y-intercept is negative 3. So you go down 1, 2, 3. And that's your y-intercept, your x-intercept is 1.5. That's where it would cross right there.